Our first student speaker this morning is Adam Mastroianni, who in first grade won a handwriting contest, and since then it's kind of been downhill. From a small town in Ohio, Adam attended Princeton University, an Ivy League school, and then he won a Rhodes Scholarship. Wow. You may recognize him from the stage at David Drew's All-Nighter or from Quipfire. And if that training hasn't taught him how to make people laugh, consider the fact that his senior thesis examined why we laugh. Given that, this whole thing feels a bit like cheating. Please welcome Adam Mastroianni.
So I don't think I've ever taken a selfie before, but this kind of seems like a good time. I did it backwards, sorry. Okay, so guys, let's be honest. The very idea of a graduation speech is silly. We've all had such radically different experiences at Princeton, and to try to encapsulate them in a single speech would require someone to make sweeping generalizations, turn anecdotes into grand ideas, and take ideas from people smarter than you and pretend that they're your own. Luckily, I just completed 4 years of precepts at this school, so I am well prepared to do all of those things. So, in true precept form, I'm going to start with a story, kind of get lost in the middle, and only stop after I've alienated everyone who can hear me. I didn't realize it then, but I learned my greatest lesson walking back from the street on Princeton 2010. That night, clad head to toe in a bright orange spandex onesie, I took a step forward, not just into the future, not just into a life of thought and curiosity, but also into a puddle of vomit in which I face planted. Lying there, this is literally what I thought to myself. Wow, this could be the vomit of a future Supreme Court justice. To me, that moment captures the Princeton experience. Here, even the darkest moments could lead to bright realizations. That's why they're just as important as the happiest moments, and why we can't afford to forget them in the orange and black pageantry of graduation. You don't know those dark moments are coming when you get here at first, of course. When you first arrive at Princeton, everything seems perfect. It's like dating a beautiful woman. She's smart, she's successful, and damn is she well endowed. But soon enough, like the water polo team all touching their toes, the cracks begin to show. For example, freshman year I auditioned for 7 a cappella groups and got into none of them because I don't have the right tone and they don't let guys in the tiger lilies. Did I cry? Yes. But I learned how to handle rejection and not to threaten the tiger lilies because they have very strong arms. My first writing seminar draft got destroyed because it didn't have a thesis or analysis or 7 of the 10 pages it was supposed to have. Did I cry? Yes. But I also learned to write like a Princeton student, to produce a truly original contribution to the scholarly debate that will turn my preceptor's world upside down as he skims it in 12 seconds and gives it a B. In our most recent time of darkness, we all spent a year writing a thesis that nobody cares about, including ourselves. Did I cry? No. I wept. But today, I know how to ask an interesting question about the world, investigate it like a scientist, and stretch the answer into 70 pages. And it's all thanks to Princeton, Monticello font. So, despite my 4 years here and the best of my efforts, I haven't lost my sense of childlike wonder or my virginity. We have so many members of the Anscombe Society here today. But it turns out that I'm a lot like the PDF option in that everyone passes, no one wants to F, and people certainly do not want the D. But it's okay, it just means I don't even mind that Shirley Tillman isn't here today because I'm used to women leaving me. Yet I'm still as wide-eyed as I was 4 years ago because the lesson I learned in that puddle of vomit is still true today. All the nasty stuff added up to one final realization. When we applied to Princeton, we said we were passionate about learning, that we wanted to change the world, that we deserved to be here. And when Princeton admitted us, it didn't just say yes, it said prove it. And then, through every challenge, it taught us we can't prove it. There will always be someone outshining us, making more money, or getting more PhDs, or scoring more likes on their beach week photos. So we had to learn to value other, more important things. Long dinners with friends, or walking through the Institute woods in the fall, or seeing Jeff Nutakawa running across campus shirtless, screaming at the top of his lungs. Or being on the dance floor when a really good song comes on. Or yelling, "Get it, Cameron," at the DZX show, even if we didn't know Cameron. Or even if there wasn't a Cameron in DZX at all. So after 4 years about worrying about being in the top 35% of everything, I finally realized that the things that matter the most are the ones that didn't keep score. So I wish I had spent less time counting. Not that I can count very high, I am a psychology major. If you feel like I do, and if we're imagining this as a precept, I'm going to assume that you feel the way that I do. That doesn't mean we've lost that hunger for achievement that got us here. We will always have that voice inside our head telling us things like, "Hey, you're free on Thursday, why not start an orphanage in Sierra Leone?" And that's good, that's what keeps us striving to be the best versions of ourselves. But somewhere deep in the back of our minds, I think and I hope that Princeton humbled us enough to know that we can't measure our lives in achievements alone. What can we measure it in? To that, I can only say the 10 words that I've been dying to say to every professor and preceptor I've had for 4 years. I don't know. Why don't you figure it out yourself? So I hope that's the thought we take with us as we go out into the 4 corners of the world to do everything from corporate finance to wealth management. Now, in one last piece of preceptorial procedure, I'm going to finish with some quick, unsupported platitudes and go shop for shoes online while other people talk. I know that leaving Princeton will leave an ugly, gaping hole in our hearts. But if Princeton has taught us anything about ugly, gaping holes, it's that one day there'll be beautiful arts and transit neighborhoods. It's just hard to tell right now. And when we leave, we won't be like a black North Face brought into cloister that is lost forever. We've got the hardest learned lessons to guide us and the greatest classmates to get lost with. And we have a glittering, beer-soaked North Star called reunions to lead us back here every year. And when we return, we'll get caught up both in Princeton's wonder and its horror. And that'll make us super horny, and we'll make out with someone, and maybe that someone will be me. Will I cry? Yes. But deep in my heart, thanks to what Princeton taught me, I won't be worried about being in the top 35% of kissers. Or maybe we'll never kiss and I'll just fall and vomit again. Only this time, it will be from an actual Supreme Court justice. And it will be an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.